PayPal and subscribe. They tell me to say that all the time. You're feeling the high cost of living, and the Bank of Canada, the government, keeps increasing interest rates. Well, my guest is Joe Oliver, who's a successful businessman, and he was a Minister of Finance in Stephen Harper's government. He joins me right now because I put the question to you. Why are they increasing interest rates? Because that makes gas and everything cost more when they're trying to keep costs down. It doesn't seem to make sense. Although it's traditional, they do increase interest rates. Explain.
Well, okay. The overarching objective of the Bank of Canada is to contain inflation.
Right.
And they've got a target of 2% and a range of 1 to 3%. We're above that range, and there's a concern that interest rates are going to have to stay high because inflation is very stubborn. Now, you may recall back a while ago, the Bank of Canada, like other central banks, made a crucial mistake. They thought that inflation would not be a problem. They thought that inflation would be transitory. It turned out it wasn't. And the result of that was that they had to move in much more quickly and brutally with unprecedented increases in interest rates.
When they increase that, as you said, unprecedented, doesn't that increase the cost of living? So people can't, the chickens that were $8 last year are now $18. The price of gas has gone up, partly because of carbon tax, but also because everybody's passing on these high interest rates to the consumer.
Well, the interest rates are part of it, but there were a lot of other factors that moved rates up, and one of the reasons was that fiscal policy and the give-outs during the COVID crisis created a pent-up demand, and when they were released to go out and spend, people did. That was part of a significant part of the problem.
But when interest rates go up, I know it's going to curb the appetite for big yachts and Aston Martins and stuff like that. So curb that, but at the same time, you're hurting the little person. Not you, but the government is.
Well, it's a dilemma. And because the bank is focused on inflation, they're less concerned about whether this is going to drive the country into a recession and the pain that it's causing the average person. And you're absolutely right, it is. And we've got an impending risk here, especially on the mortgage side, because in Canada, unlike the United States, a large proportion of the mortgages are floating rate, and they don't have an interest rate maturity of 30 years. They have an amortization of 30 perhaps, but they're going to be renewed at higher rates, and it may be very difficult for people to afford that.
Bottom line, Joe Oliver, thank you very much. 3 minutes. Liberties and freedom of speech are under attack in Canada like never before. So let's keep this discussion on the air. PayPal, write a check, and please include your address so I can write a thank you letter to you. And ask your friends, please subscribe. It's important to keep this on the air. And thank you.